more than 4 miles beneath the Pacific Ocean, a giant still sleeps. Her decks are silent, her guns untouched for over 80 years, but the scars of one of history's greatest battles are still carved into her steel. This is the USS Yorktown, a ship that refused to die. She fought until her last breath at the Battle of Midway, a turning point in World War II. For more than half a century, the Yorktown lay hidden in the darkness, until explorers finally found her, perfectly preserved, standing upright on the ocean floor, as if waiting for her crew to return. Today, we journey down into that silence, to explore every deck, every corridor, every relic, to uncover what time has kept hidden, and to tell the story of the ship that would not be forgotten. When the USS Yorktown first sailed in 1937, she was the pride of the United States Navy, sleek, powerful, and fast. She was part of a new generation of aircraft carriers, floating airfields that could strike from hundreds of miles away. Her aircraft fought across the Pacific, in the Coral Sea, in the Marshalls, and in raids that pushed back against Japan's early victories. Wherever she went, the crew called her the Fighting Lady. But the Battle of the Coral Sea came at a heavy cost. A bomb tore through her decks, and explosions shook her hull. Many thought she would never fight again. Yet, when Yorktown limped back into Pearl Harbor, the Navy refused to give up on her. What was expected to take 3 months of repairs was done in less than 48 hours. Workers worked day and night, welding, patching, painting, racing against time. Because out there, beyond the horizon, another battle was coming, one that would decide the fate of the Pacific. And so, battered but unbroken, Yorktown set sail once more, heading for a small, lonely atoll called Midway. It was the morning of June 4th, 1942. The calm blue waters near Midway Atoll were about to become the stage of one of history's greatest naval battles. From her flight deck, Yorktown's pilots climbed into their aircraft. Dauntless dive bombers, Wildcat fighters, and Devastator torpedo planes. Engines roaring, hearts racing. They knew the odds were against them. But they also knew what was at stake. The Japanese fleet was powerful. 4 massive carriers, hundreds of planes, and some of the most experienced pilots in the world. Yorktown's airmen launched into the sky to find them, and to stop them before it was too late. Just after 10 a.m., the American squadron struck. In minutes, the sky turned into chaos, fire, smoke, and twisting trails of falling aircraft. Yorktown's dive bombers found their mark. The Japanese carrier, Soryo, engulfed in flames from bow to stern. 3 of Japan's carriers were burning, but the battle was far from over. Not long after, a new formation appeared on Yorktown's radar. Enemy planes, fast and low, heading straight for her. He crew raced to their battle stations. Guns thundered, tracers lit up the sky. But at 12:06 p.m., Yorktown was hit. One bomb tore through her flight deck. Another exploded deep inside her hull, knocking out her boilers. Within minutes, she was dead in the water, smoke pouring from her island. Yet again, her crew refused to surrender. Damage control parties fought the flames, sealed bulkheads, and brought her back to life. By early afternoon, she was moving again, the ship that wouldn't die. But then came the second wave. Japanese torpedo bombers swept in low over the waves. Captain Elliot Buckmaster ordered sharp turns. Yorktown dodged several torpedoes, but 2 struck home. The force of the blasts tore through her side. Power failed. Water rushed in. At 3 p.m., with her list growing heavier, Buckmaster gave the hardest order of his life: abandon ship. Matau, for 2 long days, the Navy tried to save her. But on June 6th, as she was being towed to safety, a Japanese submarine slipped through the escorts and fired the torpedoes that sealed her fate. Yorktown rolled onto her port side and disappeared beneath the surface, her flag still flying. 141 men never returned. Their ship became their eternal home, resting quietly in the deep Pacific. For more than 50 years, the USS Yorktown lay in silence, hidden beneath nearly 16,000 feet of cold Pacific water. No light reached her decks, no sound touched her hull, only the slow drift of sand and time. Then, in May of 1998, the silence was broken. Ocean explorer Dr. Robert Ballard, the same man who found the Titanic, led an expedition to search for the Yorktown. And deep beneath the waves, he found her. The Yorktown still stands upright, proud and steady, her island structure pointing toward the surface, as though waiting for orders that will never come. Her nameplate is still visible, half covered in rust, yet unmistakable. The bridge windows remain intact, the glass clouded but unbroken, framing a ghostly view of where Captain Elliot Buckmaster once commanded the fight. Along the island walls, corrosion streaks run downward like tears. 83 years of ocean currents painting the story of time. Moving below, the ROV drifts into the hangar deck, a vast, cathedral-like chamber stretching the length of a football field. The space is empty, yet full of stories. Aircraft parts, folded wings, and crumpled fuselages lie across the deck like fallen birds, frozen in mid-flight. Oxygen tanks, flight gear, even fragments of a maintenance manual remain sealed in the silt. Above the hangar lies the flight deck, once alive with the thunder of dauntless dive bombers and wildcat fighters. The wooden planks are long gone, devoured by the sea, but the steel frame remains perfectly straight, a testament to the strength of her design. The elevator platforms have collapsed inward, leaving gaping holes through which aircraft once rose to the sky. Around the edges, the catwalks cling to the deck like lacework, fragile, corroded, yet still bearing the scars of bomb strikes that sealed Yorktown's fate. Then, the ROV's cameras catch something extraordinary, the outline of a Douglas SBD Dauntless dive bomber, resting quietly as if parked for one last mission. His 500-pound bomb still hangs beneath its wing, ready to drop, a mission forever paused. Nearby, another Dauntless lies upside down, its fuselage torn open, but its cockpit instruments still recognizable. And then, a surprise. A 1940 Ford Super Deluxe Woody station wagon, its wooden panels still visible beneath layers of rust. This was likely the Admiral's car, used for shore visits during port calls. When Yorktown rushed out to meet the Japanese fleet, there was no time to unload it. The car went to war, and sank with her. Scattered among the debris are helmets, boots, mugs, and nameplates. Small reminders of the men who lived and fought here. A short distance from Yorktown lies another grave, the remains of the destroyer USS Hammond D412. On June 6, 1942, while assisting the damaged carrier, Hammond was struck by a Japanese torpedo meant for Yorktown. The destroyer split in two and sank in minutes. Many sailors from both ships were caught in the blast.